My name is Chris Wilson, and today I'm going to be talking about my course at Full Sail University, my current course, that is, technology in the entertainment and media industry. In this course, we have to basically study our industry, or what degree program that you're going to go down and learn about terms in the industry, how the actual industry run, and also look into other industries or degree types just in case, if you don't want to go down that certain degree. What I've learned about my industry and degree, which is computer animation, the animation industry is pretty big. It's a fast-paced working environment, and it's not perfect. To be honest, there's a lot of things that I feel is wrong with it or should be changed. The animation industry have lots of studios and corporations involved in it. You may have heard of some like Warner Brothers, Nick, Cartoon Network, Disney, even Netflix is getting in on it. It's growing. It's a growing industry with lots of workers. From the studies I've done, animation do not pay that much, considering different elements depending on who you work for, what kind of contract you get. Sometimes your studio could close depending on if you're working for somebody. Teams might get shifted to other projects and all sorts of other stuff that could possibly happen within the animation industry. There sometimes is a lack of creative freedom depending on who you are in the project. Most of the money that the animation industry gets, most of the money comes from the viewers that you bring to a certain TV network. And merchandise. Merchandise is pretty much a big part of that. So if you're trying to do your own thing without going to work for places like Disney or Netflix or Cartoon Network, then you should really think about merchandise, selling stuff, because most of the money comes from that, probably disc sales, stuff like that. From what I heard, it's a big industry, and if you have some sort of show that you want to pitch to a big industry, and it's something that you created and you feel like you love it or whatever, then you probably shouldn't, or at least have be able to have legal people on your side, like lawyers and stuff. If you want to keep your stuff, you should have the rights to your own stuff, instead of letting the corporation have the rights to your stuff, because ultimately then you're just making stuff for somebody else, a cog in the machine. You won't be able to come back to it if you leave it. You leave your project with Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Disney or maybe even Netflix. I don't know how Netflix operates, but once you leave your project, your character, whatever you create, your show, then that's theirs. They own it. And you won't be able to come back to it unless you go back to working for them. And I find that kind of wrong in a way that corporations should offer at least some sort of 50-50 agreement between them and the animators or people who's working there. Like, ask them if they want the rights to their own stuff, that they get 50% of the merchandise money, and they get 50, and whatever money made off of this and other stuff like toys and whatever should go half and half between them, and they get to keep the rights to their creation. But that's just me. My future in the industry, even though I said that it's not perfect, the course is not perfect, nothing's perfect, I still would like to join the animation industry. As animator, I hope to own my own animation industry one day, and that's the future goal that I'm aiming for. I would like to try to work for one of those companies. I don't think I'm gonna be pitching none of my main brain children, if you know what I mean. But on another note, the class itself, theme, TEM as they call it, went by pretty fast. And the information that I've learned from this class is pretty well, it's pretty well used. I mean, given. You have to look it up. You have to figure out whether or not you want to actually do this or not. I won't say that the class is easy, even though it went by quick. It's not an easy class. A lot of assignments they expect you to turn in early and do your best at it. Sometimes I had troubles, and some class assignments I have turned in late, and I was rushed for time, considering certain things that happened in my personal life. But besides that, I gave it my all. I think I did pretty well. And I would like to say that I overall did a decent job. If you want to go through with whatever you're doing, I would tell you, you got to work for it. If you want it, you push for it. If it's something you love, then you keep doing it despite the flaws. And ultimately, you'll get better at whatever it is and push towards your goal. One goal that I have is probably graduating and getting my degree in computer animation. But that's just me. You might be working towards game design or also computer animation, graphic design, and other programs that's out there. And there's various fields of degrees that you could get. Or if you want it and you want to be in those industries, then you shouldn't give up on it just because you hear somebody else doubting it. Or if the facts show otherwise. But don't try too hard. I'll say that much. If you create something, some of the best things that people love, the most loved things, weren't created for, like, to amaze people. They weren't created to amaze people. That wasn't the ideal. They was creating something for people to watch. They was pitching an ideal out there. But it wasn't solely to be like, oh, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever and people's gonna love it. Like, if you try too hard, most of the stuff that's too hard tried is the stuff that people's not going to watch, or people just won't too much look at, because you're pushing yourself. Take your time, pace it, and be yourself. And that's all I have to say.